Welcome, another edition of What the Fuck Happenings in the YouTube Atheist Community, basically. Anyway, so did stick cam last night. It was a pretty good evening, pretty good turnout. Mostly economics. I did boot Remy from the room eventually, and I'll apologize for it, but, if he wants to hold a grudge, that's okay. Just the same old stuff, he started saying that, slavery was a tiny part of the development and productivity of our economy, and it really annoys me when people minimize the death and destruction that capitalism has reaped. Even just our existence on this nation reaped a pretty good horror. I'm not saying in the end it might not have been worth it. I'm just saying let's acknowledge it happened. We annihilated people, we abused them, we harmed them, and it's silly not to accept that price as part of the deal for what we have, for our prosperity. And it just sucks when people, like I said, I can only stomach so much of people not appreciating the bones that we're living on. So enough said. Otherwise, good evening. A little bit of sex talk at the end, which is really nice. It's kind of awkward doing that public sex talk thing, but it was fun. Not very atheist, but fun. So next, not very philosophical, but fun. Fun, that's all. We'll just leave it at fun. Period. Okay, on to the assholes. I mean, the people. The atheists. Penn Jillette, really irritating video he made last week. Hasn't made another one since, which is good. Basically saying, yeah, I'm owned by the man. Sony owns me. I'm just doing this fucking vloggy thing just because it's part of promoting Penn. We have to put Penn signs everywhere we can and make Penn, an icon so he can get lots of money in Vegas or something. And fucking asshole. I mean, he's basically insulting the whole YouTube concept by saying, here, I'm gonna just become a fake person. I'll pretend to be a real person, but instead really there's a guy named Ricky who works for Sony who's going to read the comments and delete your response videos and tailor and control my YouTube persona. And it's I can't resent people taking some control because I do that, but don't pretend. Don't come to YouTube and say you're a real person when you're not really being a real person. So fuck you, Penn. And you're an idiot anyway, so fuck you double. Alright, the Amazing Atheist made some weird videos. One of them called Fish, and he's like trying to encourage people to make fish songs or something. It was, I don't know, stupid fucking goddamn video. I don't know whether everybody made fish songs or not, but whatever. Couldn't care less. Then he made a video ragging on McCain again a little bit about, he has no leadership because he couldn't get the bailout thing done, but it did get done in the end. But certainly McCain didn't lead, that's for sure. Couldn't get his Republicans to come along and only had to bribe them into it. But anyway, and we did concede in his last video, the question video, that he's not going to do the ragging on Obama video, and so I thought that was good. As I pointed out, it's kind of not the right time to do that kind of stuff. Alright, and then his last video was a question video again, and man, it was really getting tired. It's an hour video. I only watched half of it, and it really kind of sucked. It was really boring. His heart didn't seem to be in it. But the questions were kind of lame, so fuck it. Okay, Crossesborg made a nice production video, singing all faggoty like the British guy from the 70s. Sweet Dream Believer song or something, except he put atheist words to it, and it was a well-made video, but I just didn't get it. I mean, it's sort of insulting atheism. It really isn't. It's I don't know. It's really kind of queer. That's what it was. It was kind of queer video. Didn't get me all hysterical or nothing, but it was queer. Anyway, Kobe, he's in full zombie mode now. So full Toby the zombie mode. He's really looking brutal, doing the Marilyn Manson thing for real. Man, but anyway, I mean, Kurt Cobain 3 years after his death, he's sort of looking like that. And, you know, his ambition now is to be a screamer in a band. And so I was like, it was just so funny. Because isn't that kind of like my generation's version of that would be like, you know, somebody aspiring to be the tambourine player in a band. You know, yeah, I'm going to be the tambourine player. You know, what the hell is that crap? The screamer. You gotta shoot a little higher than that, Kobe. Please. You know, and if you're failing at that, it's pretty sad. Yeah, so anyway, enough said. Really isn't much here, you know. It's really the dregs I'm having to dig up. So Bella, speaking of the dregs, she's back. She made a couple of videos, but they're just, you know, there's none of that stuff that, you know, bends your brain, kind of warpy, strange stuff. So just didn't have the same old Bella whatever. You know, I'm gonna say magic, but you know, whatever it was, it's missing. So she has to get back into it, I guess. I guess it's just too out of practice. Alright, so there was one funny video that BCJ999 guy, you know, did some little stupid video about the, you know, hypocrisy on blogger heads about pornography or something, or some person on blogger heads ranting about pornography, and this is the same idiot who thought my, you know, my Buffalo Bill video was just too way over the top and all this other crap, even though there's other videos doing exactly the same thing on YouTube. And, you know, so what, I mean, what a gross hypocrisy. And, you know, Soup X did the same thing. I mean, after he calls my video pornography, he does a video about what's your favorite porn and all that. I mean, it is just so silly. You know, these people just have no, you know, there's no intellectual integrity. This bullshit flies out of their mouth. Alright, Jesus freak. Alright, I didn't watch his whole video. I only watched about 30 seconds of it, actually, or 20. But he did some stupid video comparing age discrimination with race discrimination. I think that's a little bit silly. I mean, we all know that when you get older, things get pretty fucked up. Okay? There's nothing generically fucked up about black people, alright? If they have any liabilities, there have been ones imposed by a lack of culture or some other crap. It certainly isn't quite the same thing, and it's kind of stupid to call it the same thing. People aren't discriminating against McCain if they worry about his age. We saw Ronald Reagan deteriorate in the office of president, and it's a pretty frightening proposition to have somebody go all Alzheimer's-y when they're president of the United fucking States. That's not exactly a good situation. So it's not exactly ageism for Americans to be a little bit concerned about that scenario. You stupid fucker. You stupid right-wing, loony, Palin cunt-sucking bastard prick. I can't even call you a prick because you're too much of an unprick to be a prick. You're the opposite of a prick. You know, whatever that is, you're the opposite. You're an innie prick. Fucker. Alright, what else is left? Virtuous pornographer. I will post a link to his channel. Just, you know, he does make some videos that are pretty damn funny. And he's a smart guy, except don't get on the subject of like gravity or astrology or something, because, you know, he's a little fucked in the brain on those subjects. But otherwise, the guy's pretty intelligent and he's funny. Nick, the Modern Mystic. I don't know. You know, I'll spend 3 minutes talking about him drinking the Kool-Aid or something. I don't know. You know, he did a video pointing to Alex Jones's channel and saying things. Well, it's all incomprehensible, but somehow it's compelling. I don't know what his argument is exactly. I mean, he concedes that, well, half of it is complete nonsense, but, you know, maybe the other half is okay. And, well, what's the point, though? I mean, if somebody is contriving and abusing the facts to sell propaganda, that's really not a source you want to direct people to. I mean, you want your sources to have a little more integrity than that. So I say fuck that bullshit. You know, unless you're going to guide them through each loony proposition Alex Jones is going to make and explain why, oh, on that one he is definitely full of shit, because, yeah, the Martians you know, those uniforms were made in China. There was a made in China label on the Martian uniforms, and that's why that conspiracy couldn't possibly happen, because they did find a picture where they could see the made in China label on the alien uniform. Fuck. Alright, so that's probably enough. I will be making another response video to the stupid idiot on the economy stuff. This is an interesting subject. I mean, it's tough when you get into all the detailed minutiae of how exactly money moves through the economy. You know, all you need to know is the basic facts, you know, that the rich are getting preposterously richer. Not a little bit richer, but preposterously richer. And that has a consequence for the rest of the people in the country, because, you know, if they possess all that capital, that possession of, you know, money represents work. As much as other people want to argue it represents this or it represents that, no, it represents work. It buys work. That's what it will do. It will buy inconvenience. It will, with it, you can impose the duty of inconvenience on another human being. That's what money can buy. That's the real value of it. And when a few people own a ton of that work, when they don't do any work, that's a broken system. So, enough said, and I'm out of time.